Not all watch dials are the same. Some glow through two layers, some let you peek straight into the heart of the movement, and some, well, they literally came from outer space. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about 5 of the coolest watch dials that I think every watch collectors should know. Each one of the dial has its own story, its own look, and a reason why watch collectors love them. So without further ado, let's jump right in. First up, we have the thing called the California dial. Now this one is instantly recognizable because of the top half of the dial that uses the Roman numerals, while the bottom half uses the Arabic numerals. Now at a first glance, it looks kind of odd, but that's the beauty of it, that's the charm of it. And through a little bit of research, I get to know that the dial design actually goes all the way back to the 1930s and the 40s, and it was literally used in some of the earliest military dive watches, including those that are related to Rolex or the Panerai. Now, why do collectors love this type of design? Well, I think it's because it's a little bit quirky, vintage, and it feels like a if you are into the watch collectors community, it's like if you see someone wear those dial with the California dial, you know that they have a little bit of knowledge about watch, and perhaps they're into the watch history. So it's like a nod to one another between the watch community. If you are looking for a California dial, the key here is to look for something that looks very symmetrical. The numerals of each of the Roman or the Arabic should be very crisp and balanced. The triangle at the 12 o'clock should be sharp, and the lume should be nice and even. A bad California dial, especially in Chinese watches, would be those that have a misaligned of this. It's not really symmetrical. Now that being said, there are 2 watches that I can recommend that has the California dial. One is from the Saint Martin, and this watch costs about $140, while the other one is from the brand Season. It's about $100. So do check it out. The link to the watches are in the video description below. Now, second one is the Sunburst Dial. I think this is one of the most common watch dials that you can find in a lot of watches. It is everywhere, and it's actually for a good reason. The Sunburst Dial, it is very simple, but it looks really great and awesome. If you look carefully at the dial, it has this radial brush texture that catches the light in a different ways. So when you tilt your wrist, it kind of explodes with a lot of reflection. This style became popular in the mid-century dress watches, but today you can find it in everything from dressy timepieces to sporty diver watches. Now, if you're looking for a Sunburst dial watch, this is something that you should check out, which is the even brushing all the way from the center upwards, the smooth color transition, and the markers that sit cleanly with the grain on top of the dial. So when you put a Sunburst dial under a desk lamp or near the window, and then you'll see why people love the Sunburst dial. So there are 2 recommendations that I can give to you. One is called the Ardis Dive AD2077, which costs about $100, and another one is the Merkur Salmon dial, which is awesome with its red color. This is about $80. Next up, we have a thing called the sandwich dial. Now, to be honest, I've never heard of a sandwich dial before until I do this research for this video, and the name comes from the fact that it's literally 2 layers that is stacked on top of each other. The bottom layer is coated with the lume, while the top layer has a cutout for the numeral and the markers. And when you look at it that way, you can actually see through the top plate down into the lume layer. The design was made famous by Panerai because it offered incredible legitimacy for divers. That was the past, but today it's loved because it adds a certain depth into the daytime, and at night the watch absolutely explodes with the lume. The best sandwich dials have a clean, very clean cutout with sharp edges, and when the lights go off, the glow should be strong and consistent across all the numerals. It's a dial style that's just as fun to film as it is to wear. After browsing through AliExpress, here are 2 sandwich dials that I can suggest for you all to check out. One is from the brand called Seacoast, which costs about $75, and another one is Baltony, which costs about $130. Now, the Baltony version actually is also a California dial watch as well, so you sort of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you just purchase this Baltony. Now, next up we have the skeleton dial, or sometimes it has its own cousin, the open heart dial. Now this is where the things get slightly mechanical. A skeleton dial watch actually cuts away the dial and sometimes even the movement plates, so you can actually see the gears and the springs in action. On the other hand, an open heart is a little more restrained. Just a small window, usually just showing the balance wheel rotating back and forth. Now people love this because they show off what makes a watch a watch. Even those who are not into watch collecting get hooked when they see all those moving parts on the timepiece. Now a good skeleton dial watch still has to be legible. If the hands disappear into the background due to the a lot of things going on into the dial, then it has failed its purpose as a watch. It just doesn't work. So the key here is to look for a polish or bevel edges on the movement, clean finishing, and the hands that pop against all those chaotic details. Now this list will not be complete without recommendation from Pagani Designs. It is a skeleton watch which costs about $50. And as for the open heart dial, do check out the offering from Quanxin, which is slightly cheaper in this list, which is about $35. And finally, let's go to outer space. Let's go cosmic, the meteorite dial. And yep, this is literally made from slices of real meteorite. Because of the way the metal cooled in space over millions of years, each dial shows these wild crystalline lines, and all of them have different pattern. No two dials are ever the same. Of course, luxury brands like Rolex and Omega made this dial famous, but plenty of other brands such as the Chinese brand have experimented with it too. And the appeal is very obvious. You are wearing a piece of space on your wrist. Now that's a conversation starter. So a good meteorite dial will have a very crisp pattern, not overly edged, with a clean finishing so it doesn't look muddy. And when you tilt it under lights and near the window, those lines should just jump out at you. Now, two recommendations that after tons of research in AliExpress is WWII, which is very expensive at $260, and Proxima, which costs about $415. Now they claim they use a real meteorite, so you can read through the description of these watches through the links that I shared in below, and go and do your own research whether you think that this is worth it or not. Of course, there are some offering from Pagani Design, which probably is not a real meteorite stone from space, but that's a totally different story. So I'm just recommending the WWII and the Proxima. Now, so there you go, 5 dials that you need to know: the California dial, the Sunburst, the glowing sandwich, the mechanical skeleton, and of course the cosmic meteorite. Now, each one of it tells a different story, all the way from World War II history, military history, to literally space rocks. Okay, so I want to hear from you. Which of these dials would you wear? Are you into the classic Sunburst dial? Or would you go straight for something very cosmic like the meteorite dial to say that, hey, I have some outer space component on my wrist? So drop the answers in the comment below, and if you enjoy this breakdown, I hope that you hit the like button and subscribe for more watch content like this. I hope this video will help you make a decision, especially in your watch collecting journey. So perhaps this will give you another category of watch collecting element that you can consider, like instead of color or types of watches, you can go for types of dial now. So let's just expand this passion and hobby. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and have fun with your watches. Bye.